This just in, there's breaking news in the world of dentistry. From mercury in fillings to warnings about x-rays, dental headlines seem to be in the news. To get the real facts behind the headline hype, we've brought in our intrepid dentist from the front lines, Steve Marsh.
Thanks, and I appreciate the chance to respond to these things.
So welcome to the show. Well, let's start first with the mercury in fillings. I mean, I got them. Everybody got them as children. Should we be really worried at this point?
Well, the short answer is no. In fact, I had, when I was a kid, my dad was my dentist, I had mercury silver fillings. They're about half mercury. If they're intact and they're doing well, there seems to be no worry, no problems with it. When they start to break down, then we have to worry about them. And the biggest reason is actually not the mercury as much as it is, as a dentist puts in a filling to replace a cavity, we actually have to take out the decay and then widen it and increase the size to accommodate the filling. And that's why so many of our viewers will have broken fillings and things as they get older and broken teeth.
Yeah, there's so much mercury in there.
And it didn't hold the tooth together, so today we use bonded fillings. And it's funny, last year I did a segment with Channel 3's Monica Robbins, and it actually went viral because there's such an interest in this discussion.
Okay, so broken teeth, that's a problem. Another concern for mercury fillings?
One of my concerns is, and everybody's concern should be environmental. To do a silver filling, again, half mercury, it's mixed up in a little container. The containers are then thrown out. It can get into our environment, wastewater, and that sort of thing. So we quit using them 15 years ago, and I think as we move forward, we should all quit using them. This is a patient that came in, and here's exactly what we were talking about. You can see a big silver filling she told me was put in 30 years ago, and she broke off a corner of that and also broke off part of the tooth. We had to clean all that out. There was decay in it. We then used a caries dye, it's called, to make sure all the decay was out. So that's how that tooth was opened up, and then we restored it temporarily with a bonded filling. I say temporarily because there was so much gone. Ultimately, you want a crown to hold that together. But in the meantime, now we know it's clear of decay, and it's pretty stable because of that bonded filling. So, and it looks a lot better too.
Yeah, it certainly does.
Like
you can't really see that it's there. So, okay, so that's one of the issues that we've been hearing about. How about protecting from x-rays, even dental x-rays? Is that a harmful thing, or what's going on?
No, you know what, the thing about dental x-rays is dentists need them to be able to see and diagnose. We can't see between teeth. We're not supermen or superwomen on the other hand. And so we need dental x-rays. They say a full set of x-rays, which is 18, which we do in our office about every 3 years, is like being in the sun for about 3 minutes. So it's really not a problem, and again, it's important for us to have them. We also take bite wings. That's usually 4 films, and we do that about once a year. And I'll tell you, Lori, in my own practice, in my own family, we do those. There are some concerns, and so you need to protect yourselves. We use digital x-rays. It's 90% less radiation. Here's a patient in our chair. You also see a lead shield, and what's important in this picture is a thyroid collar, because we do want to minimize any exposure regardless of the amount of radiation. So all dentists should be using a thyroid collar. When we take them digitally, this is what the patient sees. It comes out up on the computer. For me, as a teacher, I like to be able to show people what's going on, and I can take each of those individual x-rays and blow them up as big as the screen. And so if there's a problem, whether it's a cavity or it's gum disease or bone problems, we can actually look at that together, and I think if people understand their dental problems, they do much better. This is actually the digital sensor. It looks big on the screen. It's about 1 inch in diameter. One of the other, we talked about environment with mercury. When we use the sensor, it's sterilized between patients. The good news is there's no paper or lead foil that, again, gets thrown out into the environment. So that digital sensor works very well and allows us to show you your x-rays and results right away.
Okay, and there's a lot more things that are out in the news and everything. I wish we had time to talk about all of them here today, but we're going to have you come back.
And one of the things we'll talk about is implants, because they're getting a lot of notoriety. They've been around for a long time, and whether we use them to help hold a denture or for a single tooth, implants can help in many ways, and that'll be something we can explore in the future.
Absolutely. It's always good information. So now, this has been news that we can use. My thanks to Steve Marsh for going behind the scenes to get us the real story. And for more on the latest updates in dentistry, check out Steve's blog on his website. Just use the information that's coming up next.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com. Next, coloring in the history of our art museum.